Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, super cool. So we have a lot of good stuff going on. Where's my attendees? This one of those days where it like takes a second. Yeah, it does. There's everyone. Okay, cool. Good morning. So we have a lot of good stuff to share. Um, I guess I'll just start with the numbers because I did update the Rhino ledger before this call. I had a couple extra minutes this morning. And what it appears, well, not appears, the numbers are we have our account numbers are up to 545, which again is a new all-time high. But if you remember, we just crossed 500 like 2 weeks ago. The numbers are really ramping up quite quickly. The average plan is $12.60. Good morning, Brian. And if you remember, before we did the push for this weekend's upgrade, it was $11.02. And what I've always shared is my interest is the number, right? Rhino's success is going to be due to the amount of participants, not the value of any single participant, because the value of Rhino is its participants. So we're never, it's never part of our business plan to say, okay, we could go ahead and sell this for $10, or we could go ahead and sell this for $100. Everything always wants to be a dollar. Like I would love to give everything away for free. And in fact, I would, except I'm accountable to Rhino. And it's like it's that I was actually talking to someone yesterday, and I was mentioning, it's when you're a business owner, the worst thing you could do is think you're the boss. You're not the boss. There's nothing I'm the boss of. That's the craziest thing. There's not a single thing that I'm the boss of. It's like the old saying, you think you're the boss until your engine blows up, and then you realize the engine was the boss, right? And I might have just made that saying up. I have no idea, but I'm pretty sure I've heard it before. Hey, Frida. Hey, Brian. Hey, Deborah. Um, so the point being, what was I getting at before I just went off on a tangent, right? So like I think what I was always saying, oh yeah, so it's the number of participants. And I always shared that we would go ahead and when it got to the point of focus, we would find levers to go ahead and increase, uh, particular, the plan per member. Because $11 is a little low. We didn't want it to get that low. And of course, we do understand there's many, many dollar offers coming in. Outside those dollar offers, our plans are probably around $20, I would think, maybe 19, 20, somewhere over there. But be that as it may, the average plan size is now 1260 from 1102, which is an increase of $1.58 times 545 accounts, means each week you've now increased your income, or Rhino has increased its Rhino Bucks purchasing like 700, $800, right? So that's a really good thing. That's an extra $700 that's going to be purchased into Rhino Bucks every single week. And again, it's a snowball effect, right? So the money that comes in goes to Rhino, raises the price, raises the liquidity, that catches attention, gets more notoriety, and then on it goes. So I do want to share that we are an all-time high in members. We're an all-time high in liquidity pool. Couldn't be happier. Of course, we want tomorrow to be better than today, but not as good as the next day, right? Okay, cool. So that's Rhino Bucks. Rhino Bot, I have a meeting at 3 o'clock with that department. I'm feeling good about it. That department messaged me yesterday saying that they did get the bot button. So for instance, when you go on any of these sites that have a bot somewhere, it has that click here to speak to the bot, and it's a cool little button instead of just like a clunky messenger at the bottom of the page. So that's been completed. Super cool. So we're getting a lot of traction with that. Where else do I want to go with this? I guess that's the updates. And now it's kind of like just what we're doing. So I'm going to take a look at the Twitter ads today. Like I said, I want to give it a day or two to see what it's doing. Also, what I've decided is, so like I said yesterday with the Twitter, our best success is coming from the integrations with Zapier and our AI, because it's all automated. If we like this person's tweet, then it crafts a really, really cool response tweets, gets sent over to them automatically. And that's really, like we're now up to 6,088 followers. We were at 6,000, I think, 3 days ago. So we're getting good stuff, right? Like that's a good number, but it's not good enough, right? Like we can't scale on 80 new followers in 3 days, but 80 new followers is 80 more than zero, right? And it's not a negative number. So again, good direction. Now let's increase it. So what I was thinking about was a lot of what we're doing, although good, right, it is positive, is not Rhino standard. And what I mean by that is if if our value or if our success is based on our apply to someone else, then it means we're really dependent on a lot of other people, right? Like we need to go ahead and hope that that individual sees us standing outside the crowd and says, okay, well, your response was the best, so I'm going to like you, or I'm going to follow you. And although working, right, I don't think that's the best. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to identify the 20 or 30 accounts that I think produces the best content. So maybe one will be Elon Musk, right? Maybe one will be, I don't know, like Barack Obama. I have no idea. But the 30 accounts that produce the best content. Now, producing the best content sounds subjective, and part of it will be, because, if I like the person, I'm going to follow them. But it also can be objective. And what I mean by being objective is how many how many likes do they get? How many followers do they have? How much engagement do they have? And we could look at those metrics. So those 30 accounts will be a little bit of subjectiveness from myself, but a lot of objectiveness in terms of the metrics. Now, what the Zapier is going to do then, and we have to build it today, right? So when Elon Musk tweets, we're going to identify his tweet, take his tweet, then put his tweet into our AI and produce an equal, if not better, tweet than his. And what I mean by that is, so say he tweets, I love ham sandwiches with pickles, right? And everyone loves that he writes that. Okay, he tweets this, everyone loves it. Let's take I love ham sandwiches with pickles and put it into our filter and create the improved version. So my favorite thing in the entire world is ham sandwich with pickles on a sunny day. Tell me what you think, right? The point being, then we will go ahead and tweet that out as our own tweet. And we'll use all the relevant hashtags. In fact, we might even hashtag the person we got it from, meaning we're producing original content all day that is both A, regular, because the trigger is going to be based on when they do their work, and B, it's going to be proven because those individuals, their entire businesses rely on their engagement. So if they're doing all the work, like what the heck? Like we could just go ahead and within an automation, we can be posting exactly when they're posting. We can be posting an improved version of what they're posting, and we could put all the relevant hashtags that they've already done the research to do, which means conceivably, this could be the pathway to be the biggest and best accounts ever. Now, I don't think that's going to be the case, but do I think that this method will yield us more followers, more engagement than we're currently doing? I do. And of course, we're going to continue what we're currently doing. Now, the point being, this whole marketing thing, I'm finding that it's just super competitive. And of course, we all know that, right? And I want to go ahead and hire a professional marketing agency. But every time we get to thinking that, we always raise enough funds to get us where we need to be, plus, but we're never raising like 100,000 to go get that professional agency. So a lot of it still comes down to what we do on our own. And I do think that what I'm sharing with you is the key. Like I think it works. So I think if we could go ahead and show that we could gain 50 to 100 high quality followers per day, that comes out to like 350 to 700 a week. Then I think when we start tweeting original stuff like, hey, we're doing this, come check us out, I think we get those organic clicks. And that's the name of the game, right? Like that's what you want. Everyone does paid marketing to get clicks because they don't have the ability to do their own organic clicks. So if we had 100,000 followers that are all chosen to follow us and we put something out there and it gets like 1,000 clicks, well, guess what? We just got 1,000 clicks to a lander page. Now, what's the conversions on those lander pages? What's your offer? Blah, 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 right? Like we'll get to that. But I think this gets us to that path. So that's what I will be doing today, and hopefully I could show that to you tomorrow. Also, what you would have noticed in the email, I have to get like more emails today. I have to do that too. What you would have noticed in the email yesterday is that I think I did share yesterday that we want to do some type of webinar approach. And in true Anthony fashion, which by the way, I was talking to someone from the Philippines yesterday, they're like, your team must be so large. Like, how many people do you have? I was like, 3. And she's like, wait, so you're doing this all, like, how do you, like, what goes on in your head? I'm like, you don't want to know what goes on in my head. She's like, but these are all such big ideas and this equals, I go, I know. She goes, but it's just you? I go, I have 3 people. She goes, oh my God. The point being that there's a certain have to have my hands on it type of thing, and there's a certain infinite energy, right? And the point being, so what you would have noticed in the email yesterday is we are committing to a webinar schedule of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, live webinars, 1 p.m. Now, the goal is that in promoting these live webinars, we will constantly have 50, 100, 200 individuals in those webinars. Now, of course, we're going to produce a presentation that is going to educate the individual, share our data, right? Like we've been doing this for years now, especially for the last 7 months that we've been public. We can share all that. We have testimonials that we can share as well. We can put the vision together in a coherent way because I'm going to produce the presentation before presenting it. Say that 5 times fast. And there'll be a call to action at the end of the webinar. Plus, I'll be there to take live Q&A. The goal being that when we go ahead and create the recipe of our mission, our vision, our data, our success, our testimonials, Anthony, Q&A, accessibility, did the individual say, okay, if this person's even a 10th correct, then this is a good time and this is a good place to be. I feel safe and secure because this individual is right in front of me every single day. He's in front of everyone, so it's not like he's running somewhere. I can see the numbers. They're very transparent. I could go on them and actually see how they're doing. I can do $1 a week. If that's the case, and I have, let me say this in like a really polite way. I have no problem aggressively nudging someone to do $1 a week as a result of them sitting through an entire presentation where I know that I've now educated you what the correct answer is. Like, for instance, if you don't know anything about anything, well, I can't tell you to do $1 because you don't know. Like, it's not that you're telling me no. You're telling me you don't understand. Why would you? But if I feel confident that you understand that I've done a service to you by allowing you to understand what it is we're doing, and you still say no, well, now I think you're saying no for a reason that has nothing to do with me. You're saying no because of whatever reason. Unless you absolutely have no money, that's a good reason. But if you're saying no, now it's my job to identify where you're mistaken. Like I can't let you walk away and thinking something that isn't true, because if you thought something that was true, you would do $1, right? So my point is, in any type of sales, you have to know your audience. You cannot just badger someone because you want to get the outcome you want. And I would never do that. But for instance, if you are drunk and you're walking to your car, and I tell you, if you drive this car, this could happen. Do you understand me? And you say yes. And I say, give me your keys. And you say no, and you still walk to your car. I fully believe 100% I have the absolute right to make sure that you arrive at the outcome that we both think is best for you. The only reason you're not arriving there on your own is because whatever reasons, right? So I don't think it's ever noble to say, yeah, my friend got into a drunk driving accident and died. Well, why didn't you stop him? I tried to. He didn't agree with me, so I had to let him go. The person looks at you and go, "Are you? Wait, what? Because he wouldn't agree." So I look at this like that, right? So when Rhino is as passionate as it is, and everyone understands that, well, there's also pros and cons with that passion. There will be moments where Rhino is that passion converts into no, I know the right answer, and I've shared it with you. You agree with it. Therefore, now is the right thing to do. Period. End of story. The point being that if we go ahead and put that together, and we develop a success of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, having at least 100 people involved, and say having at least 10, 15, 20 new individuals that are joining, these individuals are joining not because they saw an ad somewhere, but because they actually spoke right to us, right? So these are the ones that are going to be retained for life. So when you combine the Twitter numbers that we believe we're going to have in terms of having the ability to click. When you combine the numbers that we already are having, you combine with the webinar numbers that we plan to have, combined with Rhino bot finally arriving ever someday, and then put an affiliate offer on all of that in terms of, hey, okay, this is our affiliate program. Just get the people to sign up, and once they get to the webinar, we'll do the rest. We really think that does create that virtuous cycle. Because I'll tell you something. When I did the numbers, when I saw 545, I was like, that was even higher than our algorithm was projecting today to be. Our algorithm was projecting 541. Like we're now exceeding, like we're accelerating. And it's starting to take a life of its own, which is good. Like for instance, yesterday I talked to someone from the Philippines. The day before that, I was on the phone with someone from France. The day before that, I was on the phone with someone from Brazil. Like things are starting to just kind of become, I have that feeling because I see things happening and I'm like, this is a little better than I thought it was going to be, or this is happening better than I thought it was going to be. And that's good. Like I take a look at the daily volume of Rhino. Do you know we're averaging less than like $200 or $300 daily volume the last week? Even that person that sells 50 a day, he doesn't even sell anymore. He does like once every couple of days. There's two individuals I said we were expecting large sales from. I spoke to one on the phone yesterday. They have the complete green light to do it. They know how to do it. I suspect it's going to happen at some point. But they've purposely, like there was one individual that was asking how, if he could, how he would go ahead and redeem some of his coin. And I told him, and he goes, all right, if I have to, I will. Let me go see if I can find some other routes because I don't want to sell. And the point being, when you have individuals that are telling you that they want to sell, that they're asking you how to sell, you get on the phone with them to show them, you even send them BNB, which is the gas to sell, and they don't. It's like, there's a certain zeitgeist that's going on, and I'm here every day, so I'm sharing it, but we're at like 150, we're over 150,000. Doesn't it feel like just yesterday we were at 100? It feels like just 2 weeks ago we were at like 80. So I don't know. There's something in it. Webinars are affiliate offers like no, totally. And that's what I want to do. Hey, Terry, good morning. So have you been able to read, Brian, you're going to kick my butt. No, but I will. Actually, I'm just going to write it down. I'm reading the email that Brian sent. So let me run now because I have to get through my email. Oh, by the way, the webinar, just to give you, the webinar for Tuesday already has 31 signups. And that was for the email yesterday. Now, of course, I know some of the names in it, but just on a first glance, I would say maybe 20% of the names on it are existing rhinos. I actually think about 80% of it are names I haven't seen before, which is good. So I have the Twitter stuff I have to do today, catch up on RhinoBot, a couple thousand new emails. I'll probably redo the email from yesterday to today. I don't think I need to like add anything to it. I could just copy and paste it. Read Brian's email. Let me take a look at the other stuff I have. The Twitter stuff. Oh, I got to work with Rhino Wealth. I got to look at stocks today. Webinar link. So the webinar link that's in the email goes to the Zoom link. I am thinking about making a lander page for that with a video like, hey, this is what we're doing. Click the link below, join the webinar. Because I just think I'll have a higher conversion, especially if we're doing cold traffic to it. So I have to make that today too. I got to clean out Salesforce. So because we're doing all these cold emails, I don't want to send people. I'm sorry. If I'm bringing you on via cold email strategy, I don't want to email you every day if you're not answering them. Because at some point, there's probably a reason you're not answering. Maybe they're going to spam. Maybe you're busy. And after 4 or 5 days, when you take a look and see Rhino, then that's a bit offensive. And you're like, okay, you really are spamming me now. I didn't respond for a reason. So what I need to do with Salesforce is and I got to do this daily. Anyone that's received 5 or less emails from us and has opened 1 or fewer emails of those 5, we're going to delete all those contacts. So that's kind of like, if you open 2 of the 5 emails, we're cool with that. Okay, you're opening 40%. even 1 out of 5 is 20%, but one is still the number one. Maybe they opened it and they didn't like it and they're not opening any other ones. Um, I'm still looking at the new offer, not for Rhino email, but to go ahead and include a new program where we could effectively, I don't want to say promote, because I would never take anyone's money. Like say for instance, you're like, hey, we got this product. It helps you pick your nose, and we're gonna make a ton of money on it. You have a good list. Can we promote through you? I would say go kick rocks. Like unless it's something that's valuable to the people that we're offering it to our rhinos, then no. Like, but for someone that does have something that's noble, ethical, and good, that I think would be a real value, I would like to identify that person and offer them the ability to participate. Like, hey, and by the way, everyone, I want to introduce you to so and so. I think this person's great. If you like their product, go check it out. Now, obviously, that's something that's worth something to someone, that person. How much is worth? I don't know. How we build out the program, I still am thinking about it. But if we could go ahead and increase our Rhino revenue 500 to 1,000 a week just by doing something that's like that, like we do emails every day, everywhere anyway. I think that's good. So I'm still thinking that. When you get a chance, please investigate why I'm not getting wealth to clutch. Oh, okay. I'll do that right now. So actually, Carl, well, I guess everyone doesn't need to hear my conversation with Carl. All right, so I'm going to run. Carl, I'm going to do that immediately. Then I'm going to read Brian's email because I have to do the emails anyway. And then I'm booked, I think. So love everyone. I will see you tomorrow. And I hope tomorrow is better than today, but not as good as Saturday, right? Love you. Bye.